John Edd Thompson's name was already well known when I moved to the Gulf Coast decades ago. I always respected and appreciated his experience, and I had the privilege of working with him for many years on the early morning anchor desk, the weekends, all of our newscasts. He was always willing to answer my questions and give me his take on this industry. Forecasting the news was John Edd's job, and he did it well all of those years. But music was his passion. He talked about it whenever he had a chance. And those of us who knew him knew he was always on the lookout for a bargain guitar, any bargain for that matter. A friend texted me earlier today and she said John Edd has a new gig now, playing in the Heavenly Choir, and he will be missed here.
When I moved to Mobile from the Midwest, I thought, I'm not going to have to worry about tornadoes anymore. They don't hit down here, just hurricanes. And then somebody told me that with hurricanes come tornadoes. So I had to find somebody who could calm me down, and that person was John Edd Thompson. We worked together, and when he would do his forecast, I would listen so carefully, and I trusted him. Just think about it. Back then, he didn't have the fancy technology they have now, but he was able to give us a really good forecast and let us know what was happening. So I really appreciated John Edd Thompson, and I miss you, John Edd.
I'm so brokenhearted over the loss of my dear friend John Edd Thompson. Jed and I have been friends for over 30 years. We had just so much in common. We both had recording studios, both had a love of music, and of course a love of guitars. John Edd, I'm going to miss you.
John Edd Thompson was a real example of what you see is what you get. He was exactly the same whether he was on the air or whether he was off camera. He knew when it was time to joke around with the weather when really not much was going on. But he also knew that when we were under a tornado watch or a tornado warning or a hurricane was approaching the Gulf Coast, he knew when it was time to get serious. And he knew how to communicate that to everybody watching at home. And everyone believed John Edd Thompson. That was one of his many attributes. My wife Diane and I had a chance to meet up with him and his wife Sharon a couple of times at local restaurants recently, and he was exactly the same personable guy that you saw for years here on Channel 10.